Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Mercury Retrograde reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, before we clear the energy space, let's have a reminder that if anybody solicits you in the comment box, it is not me. If they pretend to be me, it is not me. If they say that they can offer you a private reading, it will not be a private reading from me. All right? I will not be soliciting you at all, ever. Okay? So that is said and done. Don't respond to them, report them, and also send me a email. Okay. Now with that said, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Fantastic. Sagittarius. How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. And let's see the chakra energy for Mercury Retrograde. How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Fantastic. So we have rebirth, the Earth Star Chakra. It's going to be affecting your Earth Star Chakra. Then you have personal power, the solar plexus chakra. And finally, you have inner child, the heart chakra. And we're going to see how this correlates to the tarot. Excuse me. On the left-hand side, that's your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see here. Oh, goodness. Start with the left-hand side. We have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. The 3 of Earth. The 9 of Swords. Balance, which is, of course, you, Sagittarius. Balance is Temperance in this deck. And that is the card that represents you in the major arcana. So we have the 8 of Fire, Strength, which is Leo. We have Release, which is the Death card, Scorpio energy. And we have the Ace of Earth, the Ace of Pentacles. Then we have the 2 of Fire, the 10 of Air, the 10 of Swords, the Queen of Air, the Queen of Swords, and the 6 of Water, the 6 of Cups. Make sure you can see that okay. Let me just move back my camera just a little bit for you guys. Okay. Excuse me. Awesome. All right. So let's also look at the energy you need to be mindful of during this time. So what is the energy that Sagittarius has to be mindful of during Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? What is the energy that Sagittarius has to be mindful of during Mercury retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021? Angels. Ooh, okay. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay, that's too many. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we're starting off here with the Prince of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But this isn't necessarily correlating them, because we asked what energy do we have to be mindful of. This isn't necessarily correlating them to Earth sign energy. This is the energy of the Prince of Pentacles, somebody who moves very slowly, very methodically forward, who, takes a lot of thought, a lot of time about things. And during this time, you can find yourself really kind of getting caught up in the minutia. Okay, getting way caught up in the details. And it's going to be like, but it just has to be perfect. But what you're not going to see at this time is that the details that you are so focused on and so intensely, seeing, they're not going to be what everybody else sees. People aren't going to see how much time and how much effort you put into that. So though building a very solid foundation is astoundingly important, you also have to cut yourself some slack, which is going to be something that's a bit difficult to do during this time. You're going to sit there and be like, no, I just have to iron out everything. Everything has to be just right. And you're going to find that you do a lot better if you let go. If you let go just a bit. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So you have a troublesome Queen of Swords right here, and you have a really good Queen of Swords right here. Now, this is about rebirth. This is about moving forward. And here, this is being in your element and thinking, I just have to be on all the time. There's going to be a real sense of perfection around this Mercury retrograde with you, Sagittarius. And what's very interesting about Mercury retrograde is that it brings the subconscious self forward. And everything that we find that we're tripping over, everything that we find we're having a hard time with, your subconscious self is making you aware of what's holding you back in life. And so here, with the Queen of Swords, there's a sense of being in your element, yes, but needing to cut through a lot of what is pushing you back, a lot of what is you're fighting too hard in some areas. Like, you're fighting too hard here, and it's not going to be moving you forward the way that you want to. And it could just be like one thing where you're just thinking, if I just give this all my time, all my attention, it'll be right, I'll be happy, like everything will be great. And what divinity is saying here is like, why are you driving yourself crazy? Like, why does it have to be, why does it have to be perfect? Stepping back from that is going to be so important. And then finally, we have the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy. Yes, this is air sign energy here with the Queen of Swords, but this is a sense of laying a really solid foundation, seeing the interconnectedness of things. And it's almost going to be like, I don't want to misstep, because if I misstep, then everything falls down. And you're going to be surprised that everything doesn't fall down. It's like, even if you do it wrong, it's the fact that you're moving forward, especially during this time where things can get confused and everything can be really intense. You're going to find that it is the best thing for you to be able to move forward and say, okay, it might be a mistake, might regret it, fine. But I have to keep on heading towards my goals and not being tripped up by fear, by doubt, by chaos. Because that can be something where, as you're craving balance and as you're craving like this harmony and just knowing more and being more contented within this arena, you're going to find that some of the best things pass you by. And this happens, this Mercury retrograde, which I know is on the 30th, right? It starts on the 30th, but we start to see pre-retrograde on the 15th of January. So you can start to feel this really early, especially if you're planet sensitive, moon sensitive, star sensitive, like I am. You could be sitting there and be like, why am I going through this now? It's because you're hitting pre-retrograde, and because you are a sensitive person, which if you found this channel, you are anyway, you are going to find that it just impacts you a little bit longer, a little bit deeper than it does others, which I know isn't what we like to hear, but it's really good to be forewarned, to really arm yourself forward, because you're being reborn during this time, the Earth Star Chakra. And these are the places where you're having a little bit of difficulty really embracing the energy around here, really embracing the rebirth, the stepping into yourself, the moving forward. The Earth Star Chakra is located 6 inches below the feet. And this is a sense of, of coming into your understanding, of coming into the roots of yourself, of seeing yourself transform as an individual, which we see here in release. And there's a strength that comes from it. And so as you are transforming, as you are moving forward, as you're going after what it is that you want, you're flying to new heights. You're seeing things much more truthfully for you, which can be overwhelming, yes, but it's also going to be important. It's kind of like, excuse me, during this time, you're shedding a skin and you're stepping out of a role that doesn't fit you anymore. It's kind of like, it's kind of like shoes that are too tight. It's just not right. And it's going to be bothersome, it's going to hurt. And then when you release, it's like, wow, I've been waiting for this. And then it moves you to personal power, it moves you to the solar plexus chakra. It moves you to this place of needing to embrace your power and your voice, which is again going to be something that can be a little bit tricky. You might find that you have an upset tummy, an upset stomach during this time. You might find that like nerves are a bit on edge and you find it a little bit hard to claim your power, to claim your truth, to claim your way forward. But this is going to be a time where you need to sit there and say, Sagittarius, this is me. This is what I want. It isn't about pulling everybody together. It isn't about inspiring anybody else or seeking out the answers for anyone else but me. And it is time that I step into my power. And as you do this, connecting with your inner child is going to be so important. Connecting with that inner child, finding that love, that understanding, that brilliance that shines within you is going to be absolutely just a powerful part of you during this time. To do the exercise, which I love, where you just kind of like take a deep breath in and release it and visualize yourself as you are right now with your arms wide open and the child that you once were running into those arms, and you wrapping your arms around you as a child and saying, I'm here for you. I love you. I will always love you. I will always listen to you. You are powerful, you are perfect, and you are safe. And just telling your heart that's going to be a really powerful thing for you during this time, Sagittarius. During this time where things are getting confused, where people are misunderstanding you, where things are being misunderstood or things are being lost and, stress is being had, to just sit there and be like, I'm here and I'm listening, because this can be something that's rather triggering. It's rather intense. It brings up a lot of old emotions and you're trying to move forward. Your inner self is like, listen, I'm going after the goal. I'm going after what I need. I'm going after where I need to be. I need to move forward in love and understanding, in compassion for myself, with the embrace of the two sides of you. The perfect side, right? The side that we want to show the world that is absolutely put together and perfect, and the side that isn't. The side that is wild and just wants to run free and do, crazy things. And, it's those moments in life where you think, well, I could, and just do something absolutely outlandish that you would never do. But the mind goes there. And now you're sitting there and you're looking at yourself as you're moving forward. You're a heck of a lot stronger than you ever thought you were. And you're going to find yourself moving towards your truth, your passion, what it is that you want, where it is that you need to be. And you need to let your heart guide you. You need to let your emotions, sit there and say, I see you, I hear you, there's truth here. Let us move forward together. And it moves you to the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Earth. It moves you to seeing the light of your prosperity, the light of your bounty shining down upon you. It moves you to a place of wealth, a place of saying, wow, I made this, I did this, I was able to create this world. And it doesn't mean that you've got it right all the time, and it doesn't mean that you're where you want to be, but it can also be just the naming that there is more out there for you than where you are right now. That's powerful. And some people, they never do it. It's kind of like, oh, I'll just sit here. They're very much like Eeyore, in Winnie the Pooh. It's like, oh, nothing much happens. Everything's fine. Just another rainy day. And you're going to see that you're really fighting against that. You're really sitting there to say, there is power, there is purpose, there is bounty here. And I'm not letting other people steal that from me. And I'm not going to sit there and give my power to others, give my truth to others. I did this. I made my world. And I've made my mistakes. I've had my heartbreaks. I've had my pains, my disappointments. But I'm not. And this is going to be a really big thing for you during this time, Sagittarius. I am not going to let the nightmares and the fears of what if come forward and hold me back. I'm not going to sit there and say, that's fine. I can just be afraid of moving forward my whole entire life. I don't ever need to embrace my dreams or embrace my passions or, look at what it is that I want from life. And you're going to sit there and be saying, yeah, okay, I'm afraid. And you're going to definitely know it. And then it's like, but I'm still moving forward. I'm still going after what it is that I want from life. I'm still pushing the envelope. I'm still embracing my soul and embracing myself and moving in the direction that I need to be. And this is getting way too much in your own head with your inner self, with yourself wanting to move forward and seeing everything that you've done and everything that you've created. There is a time of just total stress. And the total stress can make you put a stop on everything. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't move forward. I'm just going to mess everything up. I can't plan what is going on here. And just every single negative thing you've ever thought about yourself starts to bombard you, starts to kind of come in and want to cut you at your knees. And that's why the power of this rebirth, this power of saying, I'm not the person that I once was. And it's sad sometimes because we look back and we're like, oh, but I like that person. Like, I like that innocence, or I like that faith that they had, that like everything was just going to work out really well. And you've been through a storm. And 2020 has been a storm, and 2021 has been intense. And then we go through storms. We go through heartbreaks and pains and disappointments, and things happen that we never even thought could possibly. And so here with the Nine of Swords, these are our nightmares, these are our fears, these are the chaoses coming forward and saying, well, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I can't. And you're going to see that that's what you're fighting through. You're fighting through, well, what if you fail? It's like, what if you do? But what if you were brave enough to try? Like, what if you were brave enough to sit there and with your exquisite imagination say, look at everything that could fall apart and still move forward, still go after your power and your truth. Because that's where you find your balance. That's where you sit there and you're like, oh, like I was expecting the worst. I was, sure that everything was going to crumble like a house of cards. But by stepping into the essence of me, by stepping into the balance of myself, by sitting there and saying, there's the light and there's the dark, there is the day, there is the night. Both are valuable. There are the lessons. And Mercury Retrograde is a lesson. It's bringing that subconscious self forward. Because the astrologer Aaron Sullivan discovered that we spend as much time, the time that we spend in Mercury Retrograde, Mercury in retrograde and Mercury direct, so Mercury spinning backwards in retrograde and forwards in direct, is the time that's equal to what human beings spend awake and asleep. So this is a time to take stock of what's happening and to really let our subconscious talk to us, because it is the time that we spend asleep. It is the time that, the subconscious gets to really talk through the trials, through the tribulations, through the hardships, and through the pain. And what you're going to see here is that if you just think, oh my gosh, the worst is coming, and you don't take care of yourself, sleepless nights, doubts, fears, working so hard, just like burning the candle at both ends, it starts to become a self-fulfilling prophecy because you're burnt out, you're overwhelmed. And balance coming in is like, okay, I need the harmony. I need the balance. And Sagittarius, being represented by temperance, by balance in this deck, is absolutely exquisite because it's saying to you, if you don't keep yourself in balance, okay, if you don't keep yourself harmonized, you will not grow and become what you need to be. You will become too much of one thing, too much of another, and you will not feel comfortable within your own skin. It's this balance. It's this moving forward. It's the shedding of a skin. It's the moving into your truth that is so important during this time. And it's going to be so much of a game changer for you that it's leading you to the 8 of fire. Your heart is changing. Everything is moving forward in a way that kind of takes your breath away, in a way that has you looking at things differently, in a way that's like, ready or not, here it comes. Ready or not, I am moving towards these goals. I am heading in this direction. Your heart is leading you, and it's leading you with the Chariot. It's like you have the 7 and then you have the 8. Oh, I love that. You have this sense of direction and purpose and, fire and truth. And it's like, I'm moving forward, whether I want to or not. I'm moving forward whether I think I can or not. And so there is a need here to say, okay, I'm going to go with the flow. I'm not going to sit there. And that's why Spirit was saying it's so important not to sit there and have to plan every single step out. It might almost feel counterintuitive at times to say, I'm just going to see what happens. But it's going to be so important for you to embrace this adventure, to see what happens. And it takes tremendous strength of character, strength of, a faith within yourself, strength of determination. But it takes the strength to move you to where it is that you need to be. And it's not brute force strength. You're going to actually find once you try, to make things happen, that's when they don't happen. When you step back and you say, okay, divinity, I trust you, or, universe, I trust you, or angels, take the wheel, like, lead me forward. Let's see what happens. That's going to be when you start to see yourself moving in a direction that you hadn't anticipated. And it takes strength to let yourself be reborn, to see your personal power, and to look at who you were and who you are, and every stage in between, and say, okay, but this is me. This is me. And it's like the taming of the tiger. It's not really, a tiger is never tamed, right? And it's never truly trained either. But tigers are magnificent creatures in the wild. They are very solitary. They are very smart. They are very precise. And that's going to be what you are looking at here. It's a little bit of a solitary time for you with Mercury Retrograde. And that's also because Mercury Retrograde is in Aquarius. And Aquarius brings about a bit of an aloofness. So everybody's going to feel a little bit solitary during this time. But it's also going to be that there is an intensity of understanding, there is a power that's moving you forward, and you're not going to really fall victim to the aloofness if you stop yourself from overthinking and worrying, which, I know I find terribly, terribly hard. I can worry with the best of them, right? And so here, that's going to be very, very important, not to worry this time away, because things are going to get mumbled and jumbled, and it's not going to turn out the way that you expect, but it's going to turn out the way divinity wants it to. And that's going to be a powerful way for you to move forward in your strength. And there's a release. There really is a release of what has been holding you back, of where it is that you doubted you could move forward, how it is that you thought you could be. And you're going to see that you're releasing a lot of the baggage that you've been carrying for just too long. A lot of the things that have given you nightmares, a lot of the things that have kept you up at night, that have robbed you of your peace. And you're going to find that you are releasing so much that has been like strangling you, so much that has been denying you the way that you want to move forward. And it's the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, the stepping into your power, the seeing your purpose, the understanding. And it's not seeing your purpose 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is seeing your purpose, maybe glimpses of it, or needing just to unwind. And you might think, oh my gosh, I'm being lazy. I have a to-do list a mile long. How can I just detach like this? You're going to need to. You're going to need to release in order to be 100% present. in order to come back and say, okay, I got this, I see this, I can move forward in this truth, in this power, in this understanding. And you're taking that burden off your shoulder. You're taking a lot of burdens off your shoulder, and you're saying, now I get to move forward in truth, in understanding, in power, in purpose, in me. And that release becomes really good for you. You might find yourself, with this to-do list a mile long, and then you just sit on the couch watching TV, having a cup of tea or, coffee or whatever you like to drink, and just letting go. And it's going to be so important for you just to let go. Just to let go, because if you don't do it, your body is going to make you do it. Okay, you'll just find out that you just fall asleep at your desk or something like that. You have to release in order to be able to move forward in the ferocity that you want to, or just be able to move forward. And that really gives you a gift of prosperity, a gift of success, a gift of the seeds that you want to plant, the way that you want to move within your life, the place that you want to be. And the Ace of Pentacles is this, planting of a seed from divinity within you. To move you forward in the prosperity, in the bounty, and in the realization of what it is that you want. It's like this idea is coming in, and it's like, yes, this is where I want to be. This is what I desire from my life. This is who I am. And it's seeds of this, little kernels of moments where it's like, that's it. That's what my heart desires. And the Two of Wands, the Two of Fire, you are looking at yourself, and you're going to see yourself moving towards the place that you want to be. It's like the world isn't this vast, big, scary place. It's like, I can do this. I can move forward, because you're being propelled forward anyway. So it's either you look at it and say, I can do this, or you think, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? And you might have moments like that. What is going on here? Like, how do I get to where it is that I need to be? But you're going to also see that there is this release. There is this sense of, it was scarier in your head, and things were built up more in your head than they were going to be in real life. And so as you release what others expect of you, what others demand of you, and you sit there and you say, I hold the world in my hands, I can do this, it becomes so much greater. It becomes so much more than you anticipated it would be. And that's in the public arena. You're going to see yourself moving forward in a way that you hadn't expected. But it does. It's like every single time you step forward, there's going to be something here that wants to kind of knock you backwards, that wants you to doubt yourself, that wants to create a chaos within you, that wants to, make you think that you can't do it. And so with the Ten of Air, with the Ten of Swords, it's all the hardships, all the pains, all the disappointments, the angers, the upsets, the upheavals that you've had that want to hold you back, that want to make you sit there and say, yeah, but look at how hard it's been. Look at how overwhelmed you've been. And you're going to find yourself saying, yeah, but look at how far I've come. Look at how much I experienced that I never knew. And it's each year, I've come to see the Ten of Swords as each year for a decade. You have a different sword stabbed in your back. Sometimes they're huge, swords. Sometimes they're very little. They can almost be like knives. But it's a lesson, and it's overkill from life. It really is. But it's the way that we move forward. And it says here, the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change. And that's what you're going to see here, the darkness before the dawn. The end of a difficult situation, or the realization that these lessons that you had learned are preparing you for something greater. And you might not know it right away. It might take years upon years down the road to really see it. But you're coming to an end of a cycle. And as you reach the end of a cycle, you come to insights that just kind of change the game, change the way that you see things. And it leads you to the Queen of Air. This is independent, enterprising is what Spirit wants me to say, but it's experience. But you're also going to find yourself being rather enterprising, realistic, and witty. So here you have this sense of, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm headed. And you might not feel that all the time, but there is definitely a distinct goal that you have during this Mercury retrograde. If during this Mercury retrograde, okay, you try to do too many things, it's like too many pots on the stove, it's going to be too much. You're going to find that either all the dishes are ready at a different time, or, some are overcooked, some are undercooked. What you're going to find here is that if you focus on one thing and you say, you know what, during this Mercury retrograde, I want to achieve this goal. That's it. That's all I'm putting on my plate, that goal. And then you're going to start to see yourself opening to that goal, opening to ways forward. And you're going to see that one simple goal by focusing on that, you're also going to see that you start to kind of like branch out a little bit. You just can't help it. And so all of a sudden, you start to see this way that you are moving forward. You start to see this passion. You start to see this desire. You start to see this brilliance. And it moves you to a place you never thought you would be. It moves you into your element, but it also moves you with this flaming of the fire within you, this sense of understanding that you never thought you would have. And it brings you then to the Six of Waters. It brings you to releasing a lot of the past, okay? A lot of the negativity that was spoken over you, generational curses, issues from past lives. You're looking at it and you're saying, no. It's like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I need. That's not where I'm going to be. And you're also going to find that you've been nostalgic for the past. You're going to be like, oh, it was so much better when. And maybe it was. But we can't ever walk backwards. And that's a really hard thing. But you're going to find that you're releasing the nostalgia and saying, it might have been better when. But now it is my time. Now I'm here. And I'm moving forward to where I need to be, to what I desire, to what I want. And the past, it molds us. But the present is not the same as the past. And you're going to see yourself guided in a different way. And you're going to also see yourself releasing so much of the pain and the hurt that you've been carrying with you for too long. Okay, let's go deeper. How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde? January 30th to February 21st, 2021. How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde? January 30th to February 21st, 2021. How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde? January 30th to February 21st, 2021. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. We have your awakening. Four of Winter, Four of Swords, Prince of Autumn, Prince of Pentacles, Princess of Autumn. Oh, I love this. There's something that's moving you forward in the financial aspect of things, or in what you value as much as money coming together. You have the Princess of Spring. That's the Princess of Wands. So that's you coming forward as a princess. The Eight of Winter, the Eight of Swords. The Queen of Winter. Okay, so there's definitely a very strong Queen of Swords energy in the public arena. You might be, dealing with somebody who is an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, an Aquarius, but you're also taking on this aspect. You're being very strong. It's strong, patient, self-sufficient, and funny. There's this like quick wit to you that's really quite brilliant. And there's also this way that you're able to step back from things and be more detached, not in a bad way, but in a very, very good way. It's like, be more detached, more logical, more kind of like, well, this is what needs to be done. And I will not be manipulated. So that's going to be very cool. Then we have the Eight of Summer, which is the Eight of Cups. You're walking away from what you once thought you would love. And you have the Five of Summer, the Five of Cups. You're going to be leaving behind, looking at what isn't, and look at what is, which is the Two of Cups standing, which is the minor arcana lovers card, the healing, beautiful love. And you're walking from what you once thought you would love to what it is that you really love, what it is that you really need. And so there's a powerful awakening around you. There's a powerful way that you're opening up your eyes, you're opening up your soul, you're opening up yourself to being able to see things differently, to being able to embrace enlightenment, to being able to move forward and see what you have worked so hard for. And this really does start to lead you to embracing being reborn. And then it leads you to the Four of Winter. The Four of Winter is the Four of Swords. Here, it's a bit of a hibernation, and that's really quite lovely for it. It's a bit of a hibernation that lets us look at, what it is that we want, where it is that we need to be. But also, it's stepping back, and it's paying honor and homage to every single hardship, pain, disappointment, anger, upset, upheaval that happened in your life that you didn't want and that you didn't ask for, but that came anyway. Those situations where you're like, I never wanted to be here. I never wanted this. Why am I having this? And so the Four of Swords is here with the Nine of Swords. It's like, instead of letting these be your nightmares, instead of sitting there and saying, well, look at how I failed before, and look at everything that I've been through, and look at how hard it was. It's like, I'm still here. I'm still standing. And so that gets to be the way that you look at it. That gets to be the power of it. It's like, I haven't been defeated. And that is brilliant. And it moves you to the Prince of Pentacles, dependable, protective, chivalrous, and humorous. You're going to see yourself like stronger than you imagined. And this is right over you. You're going to see yourself as the prince. The prince is also the knights in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, being able to move forward, being able to sit there and say, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm headed, and this is what I desire for my existence. And that's going to be so brilliant for you with the prince and the princess. It's like, you're very much embracing the student aspect of the prosperity that you want, of the abundance that you want. And here, this is studious, responsible, cheerful, and mischievous. You're going to be like, well, how do I get there? Like, how do I open up the beauty of my heart, the power of my soul, and embrace the prosperity that I want to be moving forward in? And that's kind of the balance that you come to, this sense of wonderment, this sense of studying, the sense of understanding, the sense of, this is what I'm doing it for. And it moves you to, and it's also being a bit selfish. It's like, I'm doing this for me. It helps others, great. Like, what you do helps others, that's awesome. But I'm also doing this for me because my soul needs to sing. I need to move forward this way. I need to have the success. And you're going to see that that's how you're moving yourself forward. And instead of always giving to everybody else, Sagittarius, there's a sense of taking and saying, this is where I need to be. This is what I want to be. And it moves you then to the Princess of Spring, optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, and energetic. It moves you into you. And you're being a student of all of this. You're releasing so much that has held you back. And you're saying, this is the passion, this is the power that I want to move forward in. This is the place that I desire being. And as the gifts come in, and as you start to kind of realize, like, your mind starts to say, oh yeah, I can do this, you're going to see that all of a sudden it's like, no, you can't. Like, the blockage comes up, the walls get built around you. It's like, no, you can't do this. And that's going to be one of the things that you struggle with. It's going to feel like you take a few steps forward, and then you could take a whole bunch of steps back. And you're going to see here that the dance that you're in, it's not necessarily wrong. It's not that you're doing the wrong thing. It's that you have to release the expectation, okay? And not get so much in your own head. Not sit there and think, well, this is the way it's supposed to be. Like, this is the way it has to be. If you release it and you sit there and say, divinity, guide me forward. Let me just experiment. Let me start to step into the role that my soul so craves. And as I step into this role, I step into the power of me. And so you get out of your own mind just like an experiment. It's just like, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I start walking down this path, or let's see what happens if I let myself bring this part of my dream into my life. Let's see. And then that starts to lead you to having seeds of prosperity planted, because it isn't like the weight of the world being put on your shoulders. It's not like, okay, I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to start this business, and I have to, do all of this, and you've never even tried it. It's like, okay, let's see what happens. Let's take baby steps before we go off and full-fledged jump into something. And you're going to find that makes everything so much more manageable. It makes it so that there's a balance, there's a harmony, there's a rhythm to your life. The thing is that at times you're going to sit there and kind of like give up and say, it's too much right now. And you're going to have to sit there and look at what it is, like how it is that you're divvying up your time. A schedule would be great. I know if you're like me, you don't like schedules, but they are very useful. And you're going to find that if you sit there and say, how do I how do I move into the awakened aspect of my being, find this balanced understanding? And you're going to see that it steps you away from feeling as if you're set adrift, because all of a sudden it's small, manageable pieces. Instead of having to, eat a whole cake, it's small, manageable pieces. And it's like, okay, I can get through this. And then it leads you to the Queen of Winter. It leads you to that strong, patient, powerful presence that moves forward, that has their goal, and is seeing that the world is opening to them, and is seeing that they're releasing so much of the weight that has been on their shoulders for so long. And now you're seeing that, yes, I can move forward. Yes, I can get to where it is that I want to be. Yes, I have to be a little bit harder in this aspect, or a little bit more serious in this aspect, but nothing is stopping me. And then that leads you to the Eight of Summer. You walk away from something that you once thought you would love, but it doesn't fit anymore. And because you're embracing the Queen of Winter, the Queen of Swords, you're embracing the sense of, well, it doesn't fit anymore, it doesn't fit. Like, if it's not right now, then why am I holding on to it? And so you walk away from what you once thought you would love. And it can be astoundingly hard. It can be astoundingly challenging. And it could also be facing the time that you walked away from something that you once loved, like a relationship or, a career or something like that. And you think, wow, if I would have just stayed there, it could have been better. Or, wow, I didn't expect it to be this hard after I reclaimed my life. And you keep on walking. You keep on walking your path, your truth, towards where your heart is singing. Because you're going to start to see that, yeah, there have been a lot of struggles. There have been. But there's a beautiful blessing coming forward. And there's beautiful blessings here. There's the Minor Arcana Lovers card. That is the 2 cups that stand when the 3 cups have fallen over in the 5 of Cups. And so here, you're going to see yourself focusing on turning around and seeing the healing, beautiful love that is around you. Even in the darkest of despair, it's like finding that one good thing and holding onto it, because you're going to find that what you focus on during this time, Sagittarius, becomes your world. And if you focus on the muck and the mire and the anger and the hardship, it becomes your world. So here, it's embracing a wise action and wise action forward. So let's see your spirit animal message for you. Sagittarius, January 30th to February 21st, 2021, Mercury Retrograde. How will Sagittarius be affected by Mercury Retrograde, January 30th to February 21st, 2021, Sagittarius? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic, these 4. We have here the wolf spirit. It says, turn knowledge into wisdom. And that's going to be a huge part of what you're doing. You're turning the knowledge that you have into the wisdom that you live by. And it's going to work very nicely for you. And then we have here the buffalo spirit. The abundant universe will provide. You have a tendency to turn towards lack during this time. The sense of, oh my gosh, it'll never be good. Oh my gosh, I'll never be able to move forward. And you need to trust that the abundant universe will provide, because it will. It then moves you to the Seahorse Spirit. Watch and wait. It's not all going to be on your time, and that's okay. Watch and wait and see what transpires, what comes forward. And then finally, we have the Otter Spirit. You are never alone. Love is all around you. The heart, the 2 otters intertwined. Love is all around you. From your angels, from your spirit guides, from divinity itself. And you are moving forward towards success and beauty and a sense of oneness. Ooh, your subconscious. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the turkey spirit. Give with gratitude and grace, not only to the rest of the world, but also to yourself. It moves you then to your subconscious person message, which is the star, Aquarius energy, balancing of energy, opening of love, soul's wishes being granted. It leads you to your chakra message, subconscious message, which is inspiration. It's releasing a lot of the negative energy from this life, from past lives, and really being inspired by the new dawn that you see, the new horizon forward, the way the world starts to open to you. And then we have your subconscious tarot message, which is unity. This is Taurus energy. This is a sense of uniting the balance within you, seeing your gifts and your blessings and saying, I need to walk this path, not the path of other people's blessings or the way other people say you should do things. I need to walk this path of me, and having true power come with the uniting of the understanding of yourself, of the blessings, of the harmony, of the power that has been waiting for you to see it. And then to go deeper, we have the 10 of summer, the 10 of cups. And they all live happily ever after. It doesn't have to be everybody else's happily ever after. It is, I get to live in my happiness because I am uniting my gifts, my blessings. And I am seeing myself move forward in a way that is so much more than I ever could have imagined it would be. And I get to move forward in the happiness for me. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in unity of self and power of spirit. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.